Good evening and welcome to 10 Questions. I'm Greg Williams
and I'm Kerri Percy.
And we're going to talk over each other tonight.
Yes.
I can tell how this is going to... We're the two instructors here at the graphics lab at Keiser University, and over the last 5 months, we've been interviewing successful grads, students who are now in internships, to give a wide variety of what graphic arts and design is. And I thought it would be interesting for a teacher's point of view.
Yeah.
So first question.
Yeah.
How did you end up being a graphic arts teacher?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I started out as a graphic designer. I ended up with a really crappy job. I put my resume on Monster. And sometime after that, I randomly got a call from the dean at the time, who's now the president, and got an interview. I interviewed with her, with you, and is there somebody else?
Might have been. I don't remember if you had to meet with the current campus president or not back then.
Yeah.
If you did, he asked you if you played golf.
Which I don't. Which is just the demise of my entire career, I'm sure. Because I don't play golf.
Yeah.
I don't play with the boys. And she offered me a job right there.
And that was almost 13 years ago?
Almost 13 years ago. In February, it'll be 13 years.
But did you have any idea that it would take this long,
No.
that you'd be doing this?
No.
And why are you?
No.
Why are you still doing this?
Because I love it.
Okay.
I love what I do. I love teaching. I love sharing my passion and seeing passion ignite in others for the same thing. And even when I get a dud, it doesn't like squelch my passion. So I love what I do. I mean, it's the easiest job in the world. Don't you think?
Well, it is. It is.
For us.
It's the toughest job in the world.
Yeah.
It's the easiest job.
Yeah.
I mean, because
emotionally.
Oh, it's emotionally it's draining, because there is not a student who walks through the door.
Yeah.
That I don't. My job, as I see it, is to believe in the students before they believe in themselves. Because I have some rough, uncut gems over there, and I see each student that I've got to chip away at the big spots until we see what's inside, and then learn to make it shine and polish.
And we have to really get to know our students, whether we want to or not. And we do, and we fall in love with them, and they're like our kids.
And then they leave us.
And we invest, our part of us into them. And so, it hurts us when they hurt. It excites us when they're excited.
Yeah, it does. And, the strange thing is, with a traditional job, you put in your 8 hours, there's lots of 15, 16-hour days, and you go home and somebody's texting. I don't
feel like I'm ever off.
Yeah. No, you get a text, my life's falling apart, can you help me? Or I'm having a problem on this project.
Or what is this font?
At 11 o'clock at night, it's like... Yeah. Are you working again? Yes, I'm working again. My student needs me, and but it's a 24/7. But I never stop thinking, who's doing what, and how can I reach them, and how can I push them just a little bit harder? Because that's the trick. How far can I push you without?
It's a calculation.
Without frustrating you out and without breaking you, but I want to see how far we can get you in the time we have.
I don't mind making you cry. But I don't want you to leave the room.
And if you do, I want you to come back.
Yes, please come back.
You laugh. We joke about it. I made 2 students cry today, and it's an inside joke. We really don't want to.
We don't want to.
But it happens sometimes.
It does. It does. And it's not really us personally making them cry. It's sometimes the truth that they're not ready to admit to themselves.
Yeah. For me,
or it's just crying on our shoulder.
A lot of crying on the shoulders. For me, I think where I see the most crying is on that web project where I make them think, take a stand, and support it. Because you come into all this through art. I come in through
business.
I come through business, and we both share a passion for teaching. But I think as much as learning to design or teaching to design, it's learning to make people think. If I can get people to think in a way they've never thought before, then I've changed their life.
And I want them to also visually see things in a way that they've never seen before. And I used to, intro the intro class and say, it's kind of like being bitten by a vampire. You're changed. Everything seems the same on the surface, but
that something's changed.
You can't unsee things, and everything seems different that you watch on TV. Yeah. Everything that you look at, go to the grocery store, everything's different.
Yeah, I was telling I guess it was this morning's group when I took them down to the library. I said, I know I'm doing my job when I have ruined going to the movies, watching TV, reading a magazine. You just can't do it without, why did they choose that font? I don't think I'd choose that. Isn't the lighting a little off here? Oh, possibly.
Sorry, he had an ant on his shoulder. Anyway,
but
yeah.
But
Didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right.
It happens all
we do
the
it because
time.
it's one of the. And I explained this last night to during the orientation. It's a really strange situation we have that you and I both teach out of the same room, separate classes at the same time, which was completely. We outgrew the old facility and we had to make room, and then we came over here and they said, "Don't you want your own labs?" And it's like, no.
It works.
It works, and it's part of the time it is us stepping on each other's toes or acting like an old married couple.
That doesn't happen as often as like just regular teaching and learning experiences going on.
Yeah.
There's the occasion where we're, you're at the board and I want to be at the board, or I'm at the board and you want to be at the board, or whatever. But that's rare.
Yeah.
It's not very often.
It is, and the thing I enjoy, I love watching the older students interacting with the newer students, teaching them, the younger ones. When they don't think we're looking, well, is this okay? Will they like this? Now, what were those 6 fonts Miss Percy said never, ever to use? Oh, I've heard that so many times. What are those 6 fonts? And
I have them posted now on my computer. I just put those up yesterday because I was like, we've been missing it for so long. So.
And the other funny thing that I overheard is when I've heard this lots of times, asking for critiques from one another. Well, just go ask Williams. I don't want that much of a critique.
Yeah.
But they do. They learn to trust each other, and that's part of the building of the network. One of the fun things that's happened, and the rest of you are in the room at the moment, over the course of the summers, we've brought in often 3 and 4, 5 alumni at the same time, who may or may not have stayed in touch and may or may not even know each other, is we're building a really strong alumni network. When you look at Brian over at Publix and Ryan over at the Lightning and Melissa at Sun and Fawn and Candy over at Candy and Justin both over at United Way, and the list just goes on and on and on, and everybody.
It's cool to watch them talk to each other.
It is because they've as much fun as it is to watch the students grow here. It's more fun to watch them grow after they leave the classroom because now it's more self-directed. We kind of control the learning while they're here and know where we want them in order to be employable. But they get out there and it's like, well, I'm going down this road and I'm going down that road, and that's tonight's like, I'm going somewhere, but I'm not.
Well, to me, it's like a slingshot, and the stone is the student. I'm the slingshot. If I aim just so, it could still go off. It could still go in a different direction than I want it to go. But if I, keep hold and keep trying, it's up to them once they leave, but I've aimed them in the right direction.
Yeah, and that's true. And,
that's the most I can do.
Yeah, and the fact that they all keep coming back.
They won't ever leave. I'm just kidding.
And they won't ever call you by your first name or me by my first name. What do we have? 3 students who.
Well,
Oscar will do it, and Candy's trying to, but she has to get
hard.
that. Mr. Greg. Because it's already drilled in that Mr. Williams and Miss Percy.
When I got married, the students that came when I was Gilpin are just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to call you.
Okay.
So.
Audience, have you ever wanted to ask your teacher anything?
We're on the spot.
We're on the spot. We're live.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself exactly where I am, Netza, which is really strange. I've been doing this for 16 years. And I honestly love my life. it's what I hope for every student, it's what I hope for my own children, is that they find something that they're so passionate about and they enjoy so much that they really can't imagine doing anything else. I mean, I have my photography, I have politics that I'm involved in, but teaching is what I love. And it's not work. I mean, you started off saying it's the easiest job and the toughest job, but it's not work. If provided the opportunity exists, I will be here 5 years from now doing what I'm doing. I'll have adjusted how I do it. We're always looking for new ways to add different techniques, reach different students in different ways. But I wish I'd have had Keiser when I went to school. It took me 10 years to get a 4-year degree because I kept going here and there and changing majors and not really studying what I liked. And I don't think my entire undergraduate career I ever talked to a teacher. Nobody picked up the phone and said, "Greg, why aren't you in class?" Nobody walked up and said, "Hey, you look out of sorts today, what's going on?" Nobody cared. I was just that quiet kid in the back of the class who doodled a lot. And, here I'm different. It's, the one course at a time, the fact that I get 12 months of getting to know you guys and then a lifetime of being your friends, I like it. I really wish I'd have had this experience, and then so therefore I get to shape that experience for the students, and that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Miyagi's.
Yeah. I feel kind of the same way. I tell Jason, he jokes about winning the lottery and, calling in, never seeing them again or whatever. But I feel like I would not. I'd be crawling out on my skin bored. I mean, I wouldn't be super bored. I could put myself together for a month, but I'd be like, I don't want to go back and teach. I don't think I could do it. I think I'd have to come back.
Yeah, I'd take a year to travel the world, photograph everything I've always
See,
wanted
I'd
to do.
like to do that.
And then I'd come right back
like
here
to
and
do
do the
that.
exact same
Yeah.
thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'd probably have to hire you so that they can fire you and bring me back. But
Yeah. I mean, whenever I talk to people about my job, they're just like, "Are you serious? Like, it's really?" I mean, the teaching part, they a lot of people are like, they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's too hard. I tell them about, I have a student right now that's going through this and this, and I don't give them too much personal information, or details or anything like that. But they're like, "I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you deal with that all the time." And I'm like, I don't even think about it now.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been doing it for so long. It's like,
there's
just
family. You don't think you do what you need to do for
It's
family,
not
and you
like-
don't think about it, and it's not a problem, and you just do it.
It's not like a random person off the street. It's like part of my family is going through this, and therefore I'm going through it. And I call my friends and brag on my students just like I would my kids. "Oh, my student got an internship at the tropics." Oh.
I know.
I send them pictures of your work.
Yeah,
Seriously.
we do.
Seriously.
And not only friends on Facebook and social media. We brag to the chancellor's office. We brag to the campus presidents.
Yeah.
We show you guys off in front of the other people. Which, by the way, Naomi is the piece they want to do for Cinema Italy. Which means we've got to photograph you tomorrow.
We're in an interview.
I'm sorry.
I mean, this kind of industry, though, it isn't one direction. It especially with Netza, he's a great example of how it can take a turn, and you're still doing it. You're still in, this sort of thing. You're using it daily, but it's not a traditional I'm at a print shop job.
No.
And that's what I think a lot of people don't quite have an understanding of, because it's so limitless that it's hard to explain.
It is. I mean, if you're going to be a medical assistant, we know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Or a
X-ray
lawyer,
tech,
or a X-ray tech, or
whatever,
graphic design.
yeah.
Today I'm designing boxes. Tomorrow I'm doing websites. Next week I'm doing video. Right now I'm involved in political campaigns. And by the way, the person who's going to win the election is the person with the best graphic design every time. Watch. When the results come out, the winners will be the people with the best campaign designs and the best videos.
Yeah.
has nothing to do about what they stand for or anything else. It will be the people with the best graphic design. So in some ways, we shape the world.
Yeah.
But it's
Absolutely.
it's everything you read. It's everything you see on television and on movies, on the internet. It's all graphic design,
Yeah.
from the stop signs and chewing gum wrappers to the you go to the Bucks game and they now have these super humongous HD monitors, and they've got a whole team of people who are sitting there doing graphic design to keep you entertained between the plays.
I saw a job opening today for Rifle Paper Company, which started in Orlando, and they're expanding to New York City, and they're hiring graphic designers to be stationery designers and displays for stores.
Interesting.
So, I mean,
Never thought
it's
of that.
all over the place. You know, it's just amazing to me, the opportunities that I have had as a teacher, because I feel like, you know, I'm one of those people that never wants to stop learning. I'm a sponge. So I'm happy if something new comes out, you know. I'm not super good at changing hardware, but yeah, you do the hardware, I'll do the software, we're cool. And that's what's made us work for so long is you know, this yin-yang kind of thing that we've had going on, and I think it's reflected in our students, it's reflected in, you know, the way we operate, and it's surprisingly, we're both Geminis.
Which means you have a whole room full of people, not just two.
Yes. There's actually at least 4 of us up
Yeah.
there.
At any given time. Advice, because we don't want to go on all night long.
Yeah,
They
I
have
mean,
to
I
listen-
could.
They have
I
to
could.
listen to this lecture anyway.
I could. Even if it's not graphic design, find where your passion is. And I say this to people a lot. Surround yourself with people that have passion, because it rubs off. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen people kind of fizzle out because of people they're, you know, I'm not saying your friends are bad. I'm just saying they're not going to take you anywhere. And it is definitely about the people you associate with.
Because you will be just like them within 5 years. You will be just like the people you associate with.
What about
Which,
you?
same thought.
Yeah.
I hear people all the time say, "Oh, I'm looking for a job," or "I'm busy interviewing," and truthfully, what you're doing is spending 3 hours a week sending resumes to Monster, just like everybody else. Go get involved in the community.
Yeah. Volunteer.
If you are only going to work 40 hours a week and you're honestly only spending about 5 hours a week job hunting, even though you're telling everybody you're spending, go spend 35 hours a week giving back to the community and making new connections. You'll feel better about yourself, you'll help the world, and you'll be surprised who all you meet when you're doing that.
There is life beyond anime.
There's Pokemon!